AI is evolving at a rapid pace, and her name is Sophie. Making the real driving simulator fully aware in Gran Turismo 7 25th Anniversary Digital Deluxe Edition, cranking the immersion full throttle in the most breathtaking racing experience, and it's 40 to 45% off right now. Over 38,000 people have rated this, 4.37 out of 5 stars, with 84% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And with this Digital Deluxe Edition, you are getting the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game, along with 1,500,000 credits. And to put that in perspective, 2 million credits is like $27 Canadian on the PlayStation Store, which is almost half the price of this game at this awesome sale price. And you're also getting the special Toyota GR Yaris, as you're seeing right here. I do have a link in the description featuring that video that you're seeing on here to the actual YouTube channel that is showing this. As well, you're also getting 30 PlayStation Network avatars and the official soundtrack for Gran Turismo 7. And normally I do only promote the standard edition. However, at this 45% off, I do think this is worth getting if you don't own this already. And just as a heads up, if you already own the PS4 version, you can upgrade to the PS5 version for around $10 American with that PSVR2 free upgrade. What's really cool is that you can use your DualSense controller playing Gran Turismo while you're charging your PSVR Sense controllers, playing with the traditional classic setup or motion controls where you can steer it just like a racing wheel. And don't forget the PS5 adaptive triggers and unique Sense haptics totally enhance the entire game, but I highly recommend getting at least a decent force feedback racing wheel, as it really is absolutely mind-blowing. I've never played anything at the arcades that felt even close to this force feedback wheel, and couple that with the PSVR2 4K HDR OLED display along with the headset haptics, and you're totally living the dream here. Specifically, I'm currently using the Logitech G29 from like 6 years ago, and I'm still really happy with it. But I really do want to upgrade to a direct drive wheel, as they provide the most precise, most realistic next-gen racing experience. So I do have to recommend everyone looking into that and maybe spending the extra couple $100 if you can afford it. And you're seeing that the whole direct drive thing allows you to change up the steering wheel directly to that motorized base, allowing you to essentially switch out any style of wheel. But I personally want to get the Logitech DD Pro, as it touts to have the actual direct drive steering with a life-sized steering wheel, unlike all the other ones I'm seeing here on the market. Now, if you really want to feel everything without connecting directly to the Matrix, you can clamp that racing wheel onto the yaw motion simulator, and as you can see right here, the sense of speed and braking would be perfectly translated in real life, like having an amusement park in your living room. Legit. Of course, quality does cost money, and this thing is at least a couple thousand US, but I do want to show you guys what's currently possible now at home, especially with the PSVR2 setup here. And for those of you like me who were able to get the PS5 Pro, I want to give a shout out to Cusman. In the comments last time GT7 was on sale, he had explained in excellent detail on how to set up the video output settings to eliminate the reprojection in GT7. This is at the cost of the HUD element showing more wonkiness, which, to be honest, I shut the HUD off completely, so it's perfect for me. Thanks so much, Cusman, for sharing that info. That's truly game-changing stuff. Very much appreciated. And everyone, please check out Cusman's YouTube channel for many other gameplay demonstrations that you can't find anywhere else. Awesome. And for those of you that are still unsure whether or not Gran Turismo 7 is for you, as Cusman mentions here, you can check out My First Gran Turismo on the PlayStation Store for free right now. And yes, this is PlayStation VR2 compatible. And I gotta say, I didn't realize how much content the free trial offers here. This is a beginner-friendly introduction to the world of racing, crafted to bring the most excitement of Gran Turismo to new players. It captures the essence of those unforgettable first laps in a streamlined, approachable experience. Players can unlock achievements by completing a variety of fun and engaging challenges that introduce essential racing techniques such as cornering, braking, and acceleration. Set record times across an array of challenges, including 3 race events, time trials, and license tests. Feel the exhilaration of driving 18 unique cars through a variety of scenarios that sharpen your racing craft on 3 iconic Gran Turismo circuits: Kyoto Driving Park, Deep Forest Raceway, and Trial Mountain Circuit. Either way, this is a true system seller, and you'll always have something to play for years to come, whether in single player mode, campaign, against Sophie the super sophisticated AI, and of course online multiplayer with its online worldwide tournaments. The only real negative for some of you is that the game requires an internet connection to play even single player, so just a heads up on that one. But of course, the next game that needs to be in every PSVR2 library, we're talking about Resident Evil 4, and it's 50% off right now. With over 95,000 people rating the game, 4.75 out of 5 stars, 93% of the audience gave this 4 or 5 out of 5. incredible. And just speaking from experience again, I've never played this game before in the past whatsoever. This was my first experience in VR on the PSVR2, and I gotta say, man, I was blown away. And what I mean by that is, unlike Resident Evil Village, this game does take that classic video game challenge formula and then reinvents it in VR with all these zombies running at me at full room scale. What I absolutely loved about this game is it is a testament to taking a traditional video game, literally with all of the challenges, and not compromising it whatsoever for the VR medium. If anything, only enhancing it, giving you more freedom to actually move and dual wield. Spinning your body around in full life-size room scale VR is just an experience you cannot get on the flat screen, literally. But before I get ahead of myself, I do have to let everybody know, when you go to buy this game, it does not have that VR mode initially locked into it. You do have to go to the PlayStation Store, find Resident Evil 4, go all the way down, you're going to see add-ons there, and then you're going to see the Resident Evil 4 VR mode. Click that, download it, install it, then jump into the game. And real quick, I do have to show you right now, in order to play this game in full room scale VR, you do have to go to the settings I'm showing you right here. So when you hit your options button, go to options, VR controls, locomotion, controller. Pressing forward, looking around, I'm still able to move forward, guys. Still able to pull back and look around without him moving the body. When I press forward and move my body completely, look, he's turning around. It knows. It knows. And of course, every time they put this game on sale, they do include some add-ons. And as I go through these extra DLCs, I'm going to speak to what is available in VR and what isn't. So in VR, you can use the Resident Evil Deluxe Weapon Sentinel 9. It's 25% off. Or you can purchase the Weapon Skull Shaker. It's 25% off. You can even use these accessories in VR, but you're not going to see them on your face. You might see them in a cinematic mode when they're showing Leon. It's 25% off. And the other one they're offering is a bunch of costumes. This one's called the Casual set for both Leon and Ashley. It's 25% off. And the next costumes available for Leon and Ashley is called Romantic. It's 25% off. But the next DLC, it says specifically the actual filter is not available for VR. This one's called Costume and Filter Hero. It's 25% off. When it comes to the filter, that's a 2D flat screen experience. And what you're seeing here, this is an actual image of the before and after. So personally, when I'm seeing this, it looks really washed out. I'd rather just the original look altogether. And the other filter set that is not available in VR, this one's called Costume and Filter Villain. It's 25% off. Quickly showing you here, this is the actual filter, and I feel like it looks kind of red and orangey. It doesn't look as good as the original version, so I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm not seeing it on my screen, but why anybody would want to do this, but unless I'm missing something, please let me know. However, the next DLC is available for you to use in VR, and it does sound like the coolest piece. All of you out there who have played Resident Evil back in the day, number 4, you will love this. Original version soundtrack swap, and it's 25% off, and right from the PlayStation Store description, it does say you can switch this up, pausing the menu and going into the extras menu. And of course, this can be used for the main game. However, it does not work for the Separate Ways DLC, which again is not in VR, so don't worry about that one. And the next DLC is available in VR. This is called the Treasure Map Expansion. It's 25% off, and quite simply, in the game, you do automatically have this treasure map, and this simply just gives you more items on that treasure map, if not a couple extra items that weren't in the actual base game. And the location of those additional treasures can be confirmed in the main game map area there. But get this, some of the actual treasures you obtain in the main game using this expansion pack can be used in the Separate Ways DLC. So it's right there in the description, Sony's official statement there. You can see it for yourself. And if all of that interests you, you can get the bundle. It's called the Resident Evil 4 Extra DLC Pack, and it's 25% off. And again, just showing you the list of all the content that we just went over, and just speaking to this, again, not everything works in VR. It's giving you an actual bullet form here, what's compatible and what's not compatible. So it is really confusing, being honest with you. However, I do not recommend any of this extra stuff. Just get the base game, especially at this sale price. That's all you need. That's all I needed to play the game, loving it and playing it all the way through. And the last piece of DLC that is offered still for Resident Evil 4, this has to do with upgrading your weapons using tickets. The first offering they have are individual tickets. They're 25% off each, and you can see there's an A on this one, and they're labeled this way because you can only get 6 of them, and then after that you can't buy any more individual tickets. That's why they're labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. However, they do offer a triple pack, and it's 25% off, again lettering them A, B, C, and D. And then they offer one 5-pack, and it's 25% off. And then there is a letter A there. However, again, that's the only one that they're offering. And just to speak to this, it is confirming that you can use this in the main game, of course, and the Separate Ways DLC. Again, that Separate Ways DLC is not in VR, so it's just speaking to all the things you can do with it. As well, you can download another free add-on called The Mercenaries, but it's not in VR. 366 people rated this 4.52 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And this game mode is all about racing against the clock and battling your way to the top of the leaderboards. And if you're a huge Resident Evil fan and love the flat screen and VR, you can save big and get the Resident Evil Remake Trilogy at 45% off. However, it's the Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition that is only VR compatible. That said, I still recommend just getting the Resident Evil 4 Standard Edition at 50% off, as that's all you need for the VR awesomeness. But of course, if you're unsure whether or not Resident Evil is for you, I highly recommend you get that gameplay demo on the PlayStation Store right now. Shit! And yet another absolute must-have for every PSVR2 owner, you can get the Resident Evil Gold Edition at 60% off. Over 37,000 people rated this 4.68 out of 5 stars, with 92% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And just like Resident Evil 4, the game does not have that VR mode built in, so you do need to go to the PlayStation Store, find Resident Evil Village, go all the way down till you see add-ons, click that VR mode, install it, then load the game up and you're ready to go. But unlike the Standard Edition, this Gold Edition at 60% off does include a whole plethora of extras that some of it does work in VR, and we're going to go over this really quick. In the Gold Edition, you are getting the Trauma Pack DLC, and with that, it does include the Samurai Edge AW Model 01, and that is available in VR, as well as the Resident Evil 7 Found Footage Filter, and that is not available in VR, as that's for the flat screen experience only. You're getting the Resident Evil 7 tape recorder save point. Unfortunately, that is not in VR. You're getting Safer Music Go Tell Aunt Rhody, that is in VR, as well as the Mr. Everywhere weapon charm, that is in VR as well. And with this Trauma Pack, you'll immediately unlock the Village of Shadows difficulty. And I do not know whether or not that Village of Shadows difficulty is available in VR. Anybody in the comments section, if you've played this, please let us know whether or not we can do this in VR. If not, I'm going to have to check it out sooner than later and let everybody know. You're also getting the Tragedy of Ethan Winters artwork and the Baker Incident Report, which are not available in VR. But the most important part of the Gold Edition that you're getting here is the Winters expansion. And there are 3 main modes to this game, and they're not available in VR, unfortunately. The first one is the ability to play the game in third-person mode. This is the classic Resident Evil 4, where you're seeing yourself in third person. But man, I gotta say, if you're a huge fan of the Resident Evil series, you probably will want to check this out. As well, this includes the Mercenaries additional orders. And just like the Resident Evil 4, this is a separate minigame where it's all about your skills in these time-based challenges. But unlike Resident Evil 4, this one includes 3 new characters, including the towering Lady Dimitrescu, as well as Heisenberg from what I'm seeing here in the trailer. I do not know that third one. Anyone in the comment section, if you want to let us know, that'd be great. But the most significant part of this DLC is called Shadows of Rose. And this is a new scenario starring the grown-up Rose, Ethan's beloved daughter, who was kidnapped as a baby, that kicked off the original Village story. And just showing you real quick the rating that this actual DLC received, I am assuming that is the Shadows of Rose DLC, that is that extra storyline plot. I do wish that was in VR, like Daughters on Resident Evil 7. Don't know why they didn't do that. That would have been really cool to play. And speaking of which, the next DLC is again not in VR, but I didn't even know this existed until I did these sales videos. In the base game, you do get for free Resident Evil Reverse. This is an online multiplayer game that you play against your friends, where you're fighting each other as teams. Then whoever dies, they spawn into these monsters and now they're attacking you. I've never played before, again, not in VR, will never play this. It even says in the description that the online service does not last forever, and at any time this game could go offline, so heads up. And for all of you that are unsure whether or not the Resident Evil Village is for you, I highly recommend you do get the gameplay demo for free on the PlayStation Store right now. And another must-have bundle if you love the environmental puzzle games. This is Red Matter Collection, and it's 30% off. Almost 1,500 people have rated this 4.68 out of 5 stars, with 94% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. As Agent Epsilon in Red Matter, you'll investigate a top-secret research project on Rhea, one of Saturn's moons. Decipher hidden messages and mechanisms using an array of high-tech tools in a surreal, high-detail, brutalist environment. But beware, the truth you uncover may be darker than you ever imagined. And I have to say, I did just play this again for the first time on the PSVR 2, and I felt like the entire game looked much better, and that could have been just because everything was sharp and clean at the 4K HDR OLED display here. But the room scale, me walking around freely, full 360, being able to interact with everything with no tracking issues whatsoever, the adaptive triggers, the controls, everything just felt way better. So yes, even though you might have played this on the PSVR 1 a long time ago, there is a free upgrade for Red Matter 1. I do highly recommend you put it in and play it for a couple more hours, play it all over, and then go play Red Matter 2. In Red Matter 2, you'll play as Sasha, an agent awakened in a lunar base by an undercover operative and tasked with uncovering the secrets of the mysterious red matter. Follow a trail left behind by someone from Sasha's past, and be prepared for mind-bending puzzles, stealth and platforming mechanics, and intense combat sections. Quite simply, this game has blown me away technically speaking, and has set the bar for what I expect a PSVR 2 game can look and play like. And I am happy to report I've just completed it, and every moment in Red Matter 2 is utterly jaw-dropping. Just as a heads up, the story does kick off right after Red Matter 1, and I highly recommend you play that one first. And even though this trailer does show some action sequences, it's really about 5% of the game, and a few have commented in the past that they felt bored playing it, so I do have to manage expectations here. Personally, I had a blast with this entire game, and have to remind everyone that this really is an environmental puzzle-based game. So I don't even want to tell you anything about the story. It did make a lot of sense to me, part 1, and now it's making a lot more sense as I'm playing just the first hour of the game. I cannot get over just walking around ever so slowly using my full body to turn in room scale VR, and everything just feels absolutely smooth and seamless.
Like movement based on controller. Yes, this is what you do want for room scale VR. Otherwise, if you go by head, when you're moving forward and you turn your head, all of a sudden your guy's going to walk that way. It's not realistic. You want it on controller for every game. And just to point this out as a room scale walking example, if I move forward and keep my arms still straight, that's how I can still move forward and look around. The moment I turn my arm with my head while pressing forward, that's what's turning me. It just feels like a next-gen experience, and you don't want to go back after that. You know, not using a right stick to turn at all. We don't do that in real life, you know what I'm saying? It's just natural to walk and look around. Wow. That's the hardest thing, guys. You really can't show people what this headset can do until they put it on. And again, you can talk about it all you want, but even myself, who's owned this for almost 2 years now, I still get blown away.
Space Docker VR is a hardcore flight simulator, and it's 60% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 70% off total. 188 people have rated this 4.55 out of 5 stars, with 91% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I have to say it right away, this game actually supports the HOTAS. I have 2 of them, the hands-on throttle and stick. You can use your actual PlayStation VR 2 Sense controllers, of course. I'm sure the haptics are awesome on it, but having a tactile throttle and stick in any VR game, I feel, has been so immersive. The game does have to take into your skill factor the precision of docking and getting through these levels. And don't forget, there's no drag in space. Physics means that docking becomes a skillful task as you learn to master your momentum. This does feature a career mode, authored missions with unique twists to train and test your docking abilities. You'll have random jobs content, weekly missions, as well as on-demand procedural work orders. Right on. There's a race mode, pushing your flying skills to the max, and I gotta say, I'll be checking that out right away. Customizable virtual cockpit controls, very cool. And that's where you would lose that whole sense of virtual interaction with your cockpit if you are using that HOTAS, the hands-on throttle and stick. And you do have this ongoing global leaderboard that you can compete with your friends online. Unlock flare and upgrades for your cockpits. Again, I've never played the game, so I don't know how that all goes down, but the premise of the game seems super simple about docking abilities. And just based on those ratings and everything I'm reading online, how addictive the game is, it's just really weird to say that, because again, the theme just doesn't sound awesome, but the people are playing it, it's saying it is. Anyone in the comments section, if you do own the game, you played it, please let us know whether or not this game is worth picking up at that sale price. Experience real combat that requires strategy against armored, physically simulated enemies in this action-packed award-winning game, Swordsman VR, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Over 3,500 people have rated it 3.98 out of 5 stars, with 73% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% did give this 1 star. Swordsman is a realistic sword fighting game with challenging opponents and epic boss fights. Remember, approach every fight like a real duel. Parry enemies and strike them when they're weak. Physically simulated weapons and realistic armor physics will challenge you in this visceral combat experience. Visit the blacksmith to purchase weapons or take down powerful bosses to unlock their unique weapons and special abilities as you gear up for increasingly difficult fights. But wait! Weapons alone will not be enough, as you will have to visit the skill master to upgrade your stats and skills, and the armorer to equip yourself with better armor. Be strategic and build your ideal character to suit your unique playstyle. No joke, I did play this on the PSVR 1 back in the day for a few hours, dug the concept, but it didn't feel like an extension of my body, truly. Once I found out about this being on PSVR 2, I loaded it up, and oh my, I can't reiterate enough how this game was truly meant for the PSVR 2, as you can now play room scale with that perfect tracking to actually feel like you're in a real sword fight. So awesome and incredible. It truly feels like a new game now. And I mean, I felt that within seconds of my very first fight. It was that much of a dramatic difference when it comes to gameplay. For real. I'm honestly blown away by that upgrade. And to speak to more of the game's awesomeness, it does include player progression, campaign, arena, and event modes with lots of stats and skills to upgrade for your ideal character build. And you'll also have the option to add modifiers such as chronokinesis, where you can slow down time whenever you want, along with other modifiers that completely change the game in fun and exciting ways. And get this, the game also includes official events with huge prizes like headsets, consoles, gaming chairs, studio merchandise, and more. I can't say this enough, now's truly the time to master the blade and become the ultimate swordsman in VR, especially at that awesome sale price. If you love the Rock Band or Guitar Hero, I highly recommend you check out Drums Rock Linkin Park Edition, and it's 35% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Over 1,300 people have rated the base game 4.27 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And if you're unsure whether or not the game is for you, definitely check out that Drums Rock free demo right now. And that's what I did, and I was able to get an actual sense of flavor of what the game felt like, and I was totally impressed with the actual haptics on the controllers as well as the headset haptics. I didn't actually check out the eye tracking for the score, didn't play it enough, but yes, this is sit down, pick up and play, instant action. Aside from the arcade aspect, the game actually does feature a full-fledged 4-hour campaign and then fight 2 bosses along the way. Very cool. The game does keep getting all of this love and support, so much DLC going on. And speaking of which, in this edition you are getting the Linkin Park Music Pack, and this does include In the End, Numb, Faint, Somewhere I Belong, and One Step Closer. Portal meets Shadow of the Colossus in this memorable and intimate title, The Tale of Onogoro, and it's 30% off. 132 people have rated this 4.2 out of 5 stars, with 77% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In this game, you were summoned to the sacred place of Onogoro Island in a parallel world by Haru, a shrine maiden who needs your assistance. Wielding the sacred relics, celestial weapons, travel around Onogoro Island with Haru and stop the plot of a traitor. Work together with Haru to solve sprawling puzzles and defeat giant beasts called kami that are blocking your path. A grand adventure depicting the bond between you and Haru awaits in this uniquely Japanese VR action adventure. And from everything I'm reading, the best way to summarize this game is a first-person puzzle shooter, and apparently a lot of fun at that. Essentially, you're going to work with Haru to deactivate the large puzzle-like barriers blocking your path. Teamwork is key, as some objects can only be used by one of you, and then together you will discover how to quell each of the giant kami. Save the world with Haru, a shrine maiden who quells the kami. Now, if that interests you, you can actually get the Tale of Onogoro Soundtrack Edition, and it's 30% off. And you can pause right now and check out who was actually involved in the soundtrack for the game if that interests you. And the next game is made by the same developers and won a lot of awards on the PSVR 1. This one's called Last Labyrinth, and it's 30% off. With 263 people rating it 4.28 out of 5 stars, 80% of the audience gave this 4 or 5 out of 5. Essentially, the whole game is a collection of escape rooms where you're sitting, you're actually locked into the chair as you're working with this girl here who can move around the room and then solve the puzzles to continue on to each room. But it did win a lot of awards on the PSVR 1, so this could be a lot of fun. I have no idea, I've never played this before. And if you want to grab the Tale of Onogoro and Last Labyrinth, you can get the VR Adventure Pack, and that bundle is 30% off. Uncover what is gripped and twisted the Organ Quarter, and it's 30% off. 181 people rated it 4.1 out of 5 stars, with 78% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. After weeks and months of isolation in your apartment, something has infected the city. Everything has become twisted by a disease that may or may not have a motive. Explore a city that has become a wasteland and body horror nightmare, full of surreal puzzles and grotesque beings, all within a self-contained story where you delve into the heart of what has twisted the city. Again, anyone in the comment section who's played Organ Quarter, please pipe in. In the past, when I've mentioned this on sale, a few of you have said this game is actually worth the game at full price. Kayak VR Mirage is a jaw-dropping and exhilarating journey through beautiful locations, and it's currently 30% off. That said, if you're a PlayStation Premium member, do not buy this game as it's already a part of your catalog. Over 2,600 people rated it 3.67 out of 5 stars, with 59% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And I can totally speak to this because I do think it looked amazing, but if you were expecting some sort of game, it really isn't. I feel like, you know, you're going through these beautiful locations on a kayak and it looks photorealistic, legit. I was quite blown away, to be honest with you, how everything just looked. What I wasn't anticipating is the movement in the water bobbing up and down. I'm a VR veteran, but I did get a subtle bit of motion sickness, not actually wanting to puke or anything like that, but yes, definitely thrown off within half hour of playing. But the game totally offers comfort settings, so you don't have to worry about that. I just think I left it at the utmost realistic that I possibly could. But I did go through each location, and again, they were beautiful, but after going through once, I was kind of like, eh. But just recently, they did release the new patch that includes the full multiplayer mode with the full avatar. You know, they're not these cartoony looking characters, they look like real people, so that's really cool that they spent the time and actually made that look amazing. This whole time I thought the multiplayer mode was racing against somebody at all times, but no, it looks like you can casually just hang out with each other as you're going through the courses. So really cool that they did this. Awesome. And they do let you know you can optionally connect your controllers to a stick to give it more of an immersive feel. So when I go to play this again, I'm going to try and do that if I can. Even though the Whitewater DLC Soca Valley is not currently on sale, you can get Kayak VR Mirage plus Soca Valley game bundle, and it's 25% off right now. Explore the beautiful Soca Valley in Slovenia, known for its iconic green water, mountain vistas, and lush nature. Take on a new, thrilling challenge by paddling down Whitewater Rapids, or explore the nature of this serene valley at your own pace. Get ready to grab your sticks and celebrate surviving with your friends in the latest update for the recently released co-op mode in Green Hell VR, and it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 30% off total. Almost 800 people have rated it 3.61 out of 5 stars, with 60% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% did give this 1 star. Explore the wild rainforest with your friends as you build brand new wooden, bamboo, and mud structures. Set up hunts, defend against predators and hostile tribes, all the while enjoying the rhythmic sounds of drums and rattles. For those seeking even more adventures with friends, Spirits of Amazonia Part 1 is now available in co-op mode, which is a free expansion that takes place after the 10+ hour campaign. And what's really cool is that it includes a completely new location to explore with an additional 10+ hours of challenging gameplay. And challenging is definitely the word to describe this, as my wife and I have yet to survive one night in the wild. But I have to say, this is the perfect excuse to revisit this game.
Oh, hello, there you are. That scared me. Oh, that looks good. When you grab your backpack, you can pull it out in front like this and hold it. It's so cool seeing that. Yep, you have nothing. We both have nothing. On the bottom, there's a filter here. See, for food, weapons.
Other.
Yep, and you would put your bow and arrow or your hammer on the side, and then you've got encumbrance on the bottom. See the 50?
Nice. Yeah.
Very cool, eh?
So it tells you the weight.
Yep, that's awesome. You're looking right up to your watch. It's like you can't see it. That's awesome. Yeah, you are. Your eyes are.
It's changing.
1 second, let me try. I wonder. No. Oh, it does work. That's crazy. I didn't think it'd let me. I love how the leaves are flowing.
Oh, there's a bird feather.
Oh, nice. Can you put that in your backpack, please? Awesome. So this is what the whole game is about. We're going to be literally going around chopping shit down, keeping it, building shelters, killing animals. See this? We can use it for flint. Look,
Ah, made it sharper.
we get arrowheads and stuff. Oh, this is awesome. So check this out. The game is actually 10 to 15 hours as a story game, and it was one player. Then they added the co-op mode, and I thought it was just a survival mode. Just now I discovered we can play the story together, which is so kick-ass. Oh, wow, guys. Even this leaf here moving in front of my face with that light, illuminating it with the shadows, it looks really good.
Banana?
Yeah, I ate already. Actually, here, I'll take that. We're playing in the same room, man, and this is working flawlessly. That is good. Wait a second. Yeah, that is awesome. So if we saw a creature and you try not to make noise, yes. You first. I'd say ladies first, but you're a dude with a beard.
You are a dude with a beard.
So we do look the same, probably. Just know that we're gonna have to sleep and eat and do all that stuff. So the longer we take.
Oh my goodness.
Careful, don't fall, okay? That means that I have. You got the funniest little waddle. It's like you're taking a little poop as you're walking, holding your waist. Oh, that's good. Listen for animals and stuff. Oh, we need a shelter. Yep, that's how you... Oh, watch out! Watch out! Timber. Okay, it's gonna get like... And when I say dark out, you won't be able to see. Oh, shit. So you do know we're probably dead. When I say this to you, not that animals are going to get us starvation or something.
What is in here?
Is that a cave?
Yeah,
Oh,
like a
what?
little...
One second.
A little bit of shelter.
Interesting. Oh, that's so cool.
Uh,
Right?
at least we have a wall behind our backs. We stay awake all night. Hope nothing comes up to kill us.
She's such a pain in the ass. I wish she'd leave me alone. Ow! Wait! I wasn't ready!
Drunkn Bar Fight is simply an immersive, silly, and rowdy game, and it's currently 30% off right now. Over 2,100 people have rated it 3.87 out of 5 stars, with 69% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 17% did give this 1 star. Get into fights and use anything and everything around you to create as much chaos as you like. Why limit yourself to bars? Crash a wedding, get into back alley fights, riot a store, or even a police station. Enjoy performing socially unacceptable behavior without the resulting obligatory visits to the hospital, jail, and courts. The only limits to the mayhem is your imagination and your moral decency. And what's really cool, the game does offer 4-player co-op with those 6 levels, and incredibly it does offer more than 110 different weapons, from crowbars to beer bottles, tip jars, plungers, explosives, and more. And then it has a variety of over 50 enemies, including a Karen. So it's really interesting because I want to say half the audience has come back to me and said, yes, it's absolutely worth your time and money. It's so much fun to pick up and play and just have a riot with your friends. And then the other half is saying, no man, don't waste your time or money with this game. Let yourself be transported by an experience that goes beyond the ordinary, where dreams and nightmares meet to help you rediscover who you truly are in ONIRIAM, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. With only 58 people rating this 3.69 out of 5 stars, 66% of the audience gave this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 17% did give this 1 star. ONIRIAM offers a one-of-a-kind experience in the world of video games, taking you on an extraordinary journey through dreams and nightmares that will lead you to discover more about yourself. Your actions will transport you to the magnificent or hellish worlds where emotions you thought were lost will resurface intense and vivid. Interesting. An engaging original soundtrack composed by maestro Mario Razzini will accompany you through majestic and extraordinary environments. You will experience a dreamlike world where music, landscapes, and your actions intertwine to bring you back to the core of human emotions, such as joy, fear, and wonder. This interactive journey will immerse you in a unique experience designed by experts in art therapy, chromotherapy, music therapy, and psychology to engage you on a level never seen before. Oh, that sounds awesome. Live the dream. Live ONIRIAM. Join the Autobots in the fight against the Decepticons as you brave your new exosuit in Transformers Beyond Reality, and it's 45% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 50% off total. Under 300 people have rated this 3.11 out of 5 stars with a completely mixed bag of reviews here. The story for this one is that the Decepticons have discovered an incredibly powerful but completely unstable and corrupting energy source called synthetic dark energon. With this power, they can finally take over their home planet Cybertron and will destroy Earth in the process. And from everything I've read, I think the big bummer here is that most of the game you're actually fighting the same Insecticons. So these generic bug type robots are everywhere, and you might have a boss battle here and there, but it's like you're in this exosuit as all the other Transformers are fighting the boss. Whether or not you're helping, I'm not too sure. Again, I will play this eventually, but I do believe the PSVR 2 version is much better than the PSVR 1 version, and you can upgrade it for free if you didn't know. Right now, for some reason, there are currently 2 bundles that are exactly the same, but are named slightly different with different prices. You want the one that says Gorilla Attack First plus Bridge the Gap bundle, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Rampage through a sprawling cityscape, smashing buildings, tossing cars, and leaving a trail of destruction in Gorilla Attack. Only 76 people have rated this 3.24 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving this 3, 2, or 1 out of 5 stars. Now, I cannot speak to this game from personal experience, but I can say I highly recommend you guys check out Without Parole's quick 2 or 3 minute review on the game, and I'm going to leave a link in the description because I do think he does an excellent job and totally informs you of what you should expect if you decide to get this game at that sale price. Introducing yet another take on the Lemmings formula with modern VR mechanics, this is Bridge the Gap. Only 17 people have rated it 3.71 out of 5 stars, with 65% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% gave this 1 star. And the whole premise of the game is that you're a friendly spirit entity tasked with helping these little monkeys find their way through the mysterious Bricklands. You must create safe passages between portals as you lead the monkeys to safety, helping them overcome all environmental obstacles along the way. And this touts to have 5 unique settings with 80 varied levels, with more coming soon. And even though the game's been out for just a little while, I've only heard great things about it so far. Anyone in the comments section, if you own it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know whether or not we should grab this at that sale price. Enjoy a vivid, interactive fiction about an artist finishing her final piece of her gallery submission in Behind the Frame, the Finest Scenery VR, and it's 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. Only 40 people have rated it 2.5 out of 5, with most giving it 3, 2, or 1 out of 5 stars. That said, I don't think this is a game. The actual PlayStation Store description goes on to say that now available in VR, you'll be able to paint brushstrokes and fully realize 3D space. A relaxing, eloquent experience that can be played at any pace. Become immersed in a panoramic world filled with resplendent colors, beautiful hand-animated visuals, and a smooth, easy listening soundtrack. As a passionate artist, seek the missing colors that will bring your paintings to life, all while remembering to take the occasional coffee and breakfast breaks that keep you going. There's more than meets the eye, for every painting has a story to tell. Sounds like Transformers. Dive into and explore panoramic VR worlds. Experience an evocative story through the eyes of a passionate artist. There's really not much else to say other than the PlayStation Store description and what you're seeing on the trailer here. Anyone in the comment section, if you own the game, app, experience, whatever you call this, please let us know what your thoughts are on whether or not we should get this on sale. I have no idea. Brain Beats is another music VR game, but it's designed by a team of psychophysical wellness professionals, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Only 45 people have rated it 2.44 out of 5 stars, with 67% of the audience giving this 1 or 2 stars, but 20% did give this 5 stars. The game does include 27 music tracks, and there are 3 different modes here. One completely calm, super chill, low stress, one being moderate, and then one that's more adrenaline, high end. And all you're doing is you're swinging with your sword to hit those blocks and punching with your fists. I don't see any dodging whatsoever going on. I think you're just swinging and punching those blocks and balls there. Other than that, that's all I know about the game, but it's not getting the greatest rating right now. Anyone in the comments section, if you do own the game, have played it, please let us know what you think and whether or not we should get this at the sale price. Unwind as you search for hidden treasures at your own pace in Unhidden Cozy Hidden Object, and it's 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 60% off total. Only 20 people have rated it 3.75 out of 5 stars, with half the audience giving this 5 stars and the rest completely mixed there. Because I couldn't find anything about this game or even a trailer, my first thought was to check out cusman's YouTube channel, and I found the gameplay footage shown right here. I've included a link to this video in my description and highly recommend you check it out, along with the detailed written description about cusman's first impressions with it. That said, I highly recommend you read all of the descriptions of cusman's PSVR2 videos, as they are very detailed and super informative. And I just want to say thanks so much to cusman for allowing me to share this gameplay footage with everyone and your ongoing support for the PSVR2 community. Awesome. Dive into the world of supermarket management with Supermarket CEO Simulator VR, and it's 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 35% off total. Only 49 people have rated this 1.98 out of 5 stars, with 61% giving this 1 star, but 10% did give this 5 stars for what it's worth. Now, I do know that this was a flat screen game, and it looks like that flat screen game with point and click interaction, but adding that ability to move around in VR. From the few channels that have covered this, it seems the game definitely has its fair share of bugs and issues, which really sucks to hear. The premise of the game has you literally become the CEO of your very own supermarket, growing it from a small shop into a massive retail chain. Manage inventory, choose suppliers, set prices, and create marketing campaigns to attract more customers. Design the floor layout while choosing the style and arrangement of products to make your store not only functional, but also appealing to shoppers. Complete various tasks and earn rewards for accomplishments. Become a sales leader and win the hearts of your customers while setting new records for your supermarket. Are you ready to take on the challenge? I'm not too sure that I actually am. Anybody in the comments, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. That would be great. Prepare for the fight of your life, because Down and Out is 70% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 75% off total. 140 people rated it 1.59 out of 5 stars, with 76% giving this 1 star and the rest completely mixed there. And this claims to be a first-person brawler where you take the mean streets as a wandering fighter, face waves of enemies and an intuitive, real-time combat system, rise to the top of street fighting rings, or explore the city and stake out your territory. But unfortunately, I am reading everyone everywhere is saying that this game is still full of bugs and totally incomplete. And to top it off, the fighting is actually really repetitive and boring. That said, I've never personally played the game before, so I can't speak to it from experience, but I can say that this was meant to be an open world fighting game where the AI adapts to your fighting style, but apparently not so much fun to play. Anyone in the comments that wants to speak up, if you had a good experience with this game, please let us know. Otherwise, I can't recommend this one even at that sale price. And the title that says it all, Grand Rush Highway Car Traffic Racing Simulator VR, is currently 40% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Over 600 people have rated it 1.51 out of 5 stars, with 80% of the audience giving this 1 star and the rest completely mixed there. And I did hear about this game before it went on sale. Without Parole did a quick review on it, and I do encourage you to check that out, because if you want to know about the game, Brian totally tells you completely exactly what to expect, unless the game's been heavily patched since. You know, I'm not expecting that much, to be honest with you. But yes, do check out that review because he covers it thoroughly for sure. And I totally put the link in the description for quick reference there. And the last item for sale is some DLC for the coolest mini golf game in VR. This is Walkabout mini golf's course called Temple at Zurzura, and it's currently 75% off. Don't forget, this sale ends on May 21st. That said, if you guys like the video or any of the sales videos that I produce, please click the like button. And if you love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.